Roll call, please.
President Signorello.
Here.
Vice President Lange.
Here.
Ms. Carlstrom.
Here.
Ms. Ryan.
Here.
Mr. Fernandez. Absent. Mr. Harms. Mr. Hemingway.
Here.
Ms. McLeod Cato. And Mr. Miller.
Here.
We have quorum.
Thank you. Can we have the flag salute, please?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
indivisible, with liberty.
with liberty and justice for all.
We will be going to executive session. Let it be resolved that the Roseville Park Board of Education meeting hereby convenes to executive session. Session is for discussion of the following subjects: attorney-client privilege. As anticipated, the executive session will take approximately 60 minutes. The board may take action during this public session. The board shall return to the public session following the executive session at approximately 7 p.m. The minutes of the executive session will be released to the public when the reason for the executive session no longer exists.
Make a motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Everybody in? Mr. Harms, you having trouble? In
This
it?
is your meeting and they can't join. Yeah, but it's not highlighted, you know, I mean, it's shown here, but it's not.
Yeah, Mr. Miller's connecting. Mr. Harms, you good? No?
Mr. Hall? Oh, he knows I'm not in, he knows it. No, we can move up. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you raised your hand, Mr. Hemingway.
Sorry.
Everybody's in?
Chris, when you get a chance.
I hear you, Mr. Miller.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Do
Chris,
I have a motion to go to return to public session?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we were in executive session for attorney-client privilege and real property. Now we'll go to public participation. Each member of the public may speak a maximum of 3 minutes and adhere to the following: have a full name written of their profile, raise their hand in the icon Zoom, wait to be called by the board secretary. Once called, please put video on and unmute your audio. Ms. Kaus, do you have anybody waiting in the queue?
I don't see any hands.
I'll give him 30 more seconds. How's that?
What is it? Is that headphones?
Back pay. It's called a back pay. Hey, Chad. You bet.
Does Cal anything?
On the computer.
No hands.
Okay, we'll go on to committee reports. Any board members have any committee reports?
No, I mean, it's not transferring this. You need that.
Okay, we'll go to superintendent's report. Mr. Greedo?
There you go.
Good evening, Mrs. Signorella. Good evening, everyone, Board of Education members. I do wanted to report on a couple of things. Number one, we will be plans, as everyone knows. I sent out a letter on Friday with our final plan, which is on page 2. Let me start over again. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Board of Education members. Thank you, Mrs. Signorella. I wanted to begin with, first of all, thanking everyone for their hard work. The administration worked extremely hard to make sure that the phase 2 of our reopening plan went as smooth as it has gone. Obviously, I want to thank the parents for the patience, understanding. I know there's been a lot of frustration. And the entire staff, we worked very hard. We were still not sure what's going to happen come the future. Obviously, we are still dealing with the pandemic and with the unknown. However, our spirits are very high. We're optimistic as we welcome our students back this past week for the final phase of phase 2 to a hybrid model. As I mentioned in my letter on Friday, the district will continue to use all metrics available that apply to make sure we monitor any COVID-19 transmission or not. And it's, and I do want to report to you that the district has not seen one single incident of transmission within the district. I sent out a letter yesterday with a COVID-19 confirmed positive and another one a couple of weeks ago. And these are individuals who became exposed from outside sources. And yes, we've had to quarantine, we had to isolate one class this yesterday, a couple of staff members. However, the metrics indicate that our health metrics are still very good. So we want to make sure that you know this. We will also continue to report to the community. We want to be transparent. When there is a case, a positive confirmed case of COVID-19, which we have been doing, we do, and we will continue to also communicate and contact the local Board of Health for their guidance and advice, and they have been extremely helpful in assisting the district with contact tracing and making sure that we are given the right guidance, being that we are not medical experts. We have our nurses, but our Board of Health officers are the ones that are guiding us. Although we want to continue to be hybrid, our students are extremely happy to be back. Our teachers and our administrators are excited to have them back. We live in a world now that we don't know what the future is going to hold, and if we do need to close again. I did recommend to the board tonight, due to possible high travel volume and gatherings during the winter break, which is from December 23rd to January 4th, that we go to all remote the first 2 weeks in January. And obviously that is for the health and safety of our students and staff. I will send a letter out this Friday with all the information just to make sure everyone is clear. But that is our plan right now. And we keep our fingers crossed, we're optimistic, that hopefully we can continue with our hybrid plan. But please, as I mentioned in every letter that I send home, please make sure that you follow the CDC guidelines. Staying home when our students are sick or staff are sick, washing hands for at least 20 seconds, covering coughs and sneezes, practicing social distancing, wearing an appropriate or approved safe face covering, and continue to monitor the health. Please make sure, parents, that you fill out the questionnaires every week. It is very important for our health and safety of our students and staff. I will continue to update you. I will continue to update the board if anything does come up that I do need to report to you. But we will be transparent. I want you to reassure you, and you have shown confidence in what we're doing. I really believe that we are reopening the right way, in a slow manner, so we continue to learn from each other every day and what we're doing. So communication will continue going out to the families. I also wanted to, my second item has to do with our parent presentation that happened just last week and a professional development day that was on election day, November 3rd. We had a speaker by the name of George Scott. He is a family therapist with experience in post-traumatic stress syndrome and anxiety. And his presentation was incredibly helpful for the staff, for self-care and understanding feelings and anxiety and behaviors that we all have when we go through traumatic events. And also for the parents' presentation, how to deal with students under stress and anxiety, how to speak to the students. If you missed the presentation, we have it on the website. Please, I ask the parents that are on today to please visit that website and watch the video that's there. It will be very helpful as we continue to move with the pandemic and move forward. I just wanted to report to the board and to the public. The administration right now, very busy with reopening. However, reality continues, and we need to continue to be to enforce all of our duties here in the district. NJQSAC, which is the monitoring, what the state used to monitor and evaluate the school systems. We are in the midst of that right now. What happens next is we do a self-district performance review to grade ourselves. At the next meeting, I'll speak a little bit more about December 8th because it will be on the agenda for the board to approve the district performance review. The administration right now is working, making sure that all the documents are in place, and we need to send to the state our performance review indicators with board approval, which will be at the next meeting. The next part of this is the county office comes to a visit in the district to make sure that everything that we graded ourselves, they agree with. And then we'll get a letter from the state whether we are a high-performing school district or if we were missing any of the points. Just so you know, the areas that we will be scored on for effectiveness is instruction and program, personnel, fiscal management, operations, and governance. At the next meeting, I'll speak a little bit more about that. The last item that I have for my report is to introduce our anti-bullying coordinator. She was here last month and she's back again because we are required to report to you our grades or self-assessment code determining grades under the anti-bullying Bill of Rights. So I'm going to ask Ms. Backer if we can unmute her so she can report on our grades for the our self-assessment grade. So Ms. Backer, welcome back, and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garrido. I'm going to share my screen now so you can see the document that I will be submitting. So as Mr. Garrido mentioned, according to the Anti-Bullying Bill of Rights Act, we are required to fulfill this self-assessment. Each school in every district has to do this self-assessment, and the self-assessment really asks the schools to look at their program, their staffing, their procedures, their programs, and rate themselves. And then they use that score, and that's what you see here. So these are the scores. This is from 2019, 2020, so last school year. And you can see across the top the 9 different elements: HIB programs, approaches, and initiatives, trainings on our Board of Education approved policy, other staff instruction and training programs, curriculum and instruction on HIB related information and skills. Let me just remind you that HIB stands for harassment, intimidation, or bullying. HIB personnel, school level HIB reporting procedures, HIB investigative procedures, HIB reporting, and then the school grade. So, and those are the scores that the anti-bullying specialist, along with the school safety team, and then approved by the principal, submit to me. And then I have to present them to the Board of Education meeting. And then I submit them to the state. The state will review the scores and re-release them not until the spring. And at that time, once the state reviews them and approves them, then we are required to post them on our district website for public view. So you can see that each one is given a score of 0 to 3, each element. This is a 52-page rubric. It's very, very extensive. And each of the qualifiers are very detailed. So you can see that the scores might vary from school to school. And that's because it's just up to each school to determine how well they meet the need. And I have to say, some schools are very, very strict about how they rate themselves, and they probably are not giving themselves enough credit. But I just, I defer to how they feel, and that's the scores that I post. If they do not meet the requirement at all, it's 0 points. If they partially meet, it's 1 point. If they meet the requirement, it's 2 points. And then if they exceed it, it's 3 points. In order to get 3 points, there's multiple factors that you have to meet. So getting 2 points is very good. And if you can see that if you got 2 points, if you met every single of the 26 indicators, that's 52 points. And we are way above that in all of our schools. The state does not indicate a passing or a failing score. It's really not about that. It's really just a tool for the schools to then reflect on how they can improve for the following year, what kind of programs they can implement, where they should focus their resources and their time and their energy. So all of our schools do an excellent job. Last year, we missed a lot of our programming going out in March, April, May, June. Maybe some of the initiatives or assemblies or things like that that we might have had planned were canceled or postponed. So of course we have to revisit that for this year, be creative on how we are meeting all of the requirements for this year. So our school safety teams and our anti-bullying specialists are working hard along with their principals to meet all those goals for this year as well. So I will be submitting this as soon as I get board approval after this meeting. So I don't know if anybody has any questions, but.
Okay, Ms. Backer, thank you so much for the hard work that you're doing and your anti-bullying specialist as well. I know even through these hard time in our virtual world, you and the staff that works with the anti-bullying specialists are working hard to make sure our students are safe. And we really appreciate that. Thank you very much for your report. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mr. Garrido. Good night.
And Mr. Signorla, that is my report.
Thank you. That was a long report, Mr. Guido. Hope you wrote that all down. I was going to repeat it. So we'll move on to personnel. So we had Denham for personnel also tonight. So 1, staff appointments. We have leave of absence request. Well, I got, to Mr. Harms, I got two, so I'm just gonna go back and forth here, the addendum. Thank you, though. So we have staff appointments and leave of absence requests. We have staff resignation. We have appointment extension. We have a leave of absence request. We have a revision of appointment. And we have a staff resignation. We'll go to the next page here, folks. Long list, we have a leave of absence extension request. We have a maternity leave of absence extension request. We have a maternity leave of absence, excuse me, back to number 5, maternity leave of absence extension request. Number 6 is maternity leave of absence request. And number 7 is district substitutes. 8 is high school and middle school winter coaches for 2020, 2021. 9, additional athletic proctors, 2020 to 2021. 10, change of assignment / transfer. 11, appointment extensions. 12, high school and middle school additional teacher and classes for 2020 and 2021. And, 13, high school and middle school extracurriculum advisors 2020, 2021. 14, federal programs salary allocations for 2020 to 2021. We get, a motion for approval.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
President Signorello, was this vote also to include the addenda items?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just going back and forth. You had 1 and 2s, yes.
All right, just,
Mr. Harms was keeping me straight. Yes.
Vice President Langang,
Yes.
Ms. Carlstrom,
Yes.
Ms. Falcon,
Yes.
Mr. Fernandez,
Yes, but I abstain on the addenda number 2.
Mr. Harms,
Yes.
Mr. Hemingway,
Yes.
Ms. McLeod Cato,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
and President Signorello.
Yes. Now we'll move
Motion
on to
carries.
education. 15, education programs. 16, conference and attendance requests. 17, harassment, intimidation, bullying incidents. 18, evaluation instruments. 19, preschool operation plan. 20, the high school athletic schedule. And do I have a motion to approve? Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Vice President Langang,
Yes.
Ms. Carlstrom,
Yes.
Ms. Falcon,
Yes.
Mr. Fernandez,
Yes.
Mr. Harms,
Yes.
Mr. Hemingway,
Yes.
Ms. McLeod Cato,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
and President Signorello.
Yes. Is our Wi-Fi slowing down? We got to boost it up or give a little coffee? It seems like everybody's computer's running a little slower. No? Okay. Mine keeps coming up internet weak or whatever. Okay. So business, we have addendum on business. 21 monthly certification. And settlement agreement. That's 4 through 5 on the addendum, and 22 approval of bills, and 6 use of buildings and grounds, 23 approval of minutes, 24 budget transfers, 25 school security grant, and 26 memorandum of agreement, 27 district and contract agreements, 28 surveillance system and panic alarm and upgrade project, 29 donation, and 30 check cancellation. I just, real quick, I'd like to thank Ms. Callis on this effort on getting the surveillance system panic alarm upgrade. I believe it's mostly funded a grant. So thank you very much for that work. Motion for the business section? Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Vice President Lange,
Yes.
Ms. Carlstrom,
Yes.
Ms. Falcon,
Yes.
Mr. Fernandez,
Yes.
Mr. Harms,
Yes.
Mr. Hemingway,
Yes.
Ms. McLeod Cato,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
and President Signorello.
Yes. So we have any continuing business? Any continuing business? I'd like to go new business. So I'd like to, someone make a motion that we vote to agree to go remote. So I guess it would be the till or through January 18th. Second,
Second.
we need a roll call for that, please.
I'm sorry, Mr. Signorelli, if I may, I just don't want to confuse, we're going from December 23rd, which is the last day, to January 18th,
So,
not from now.
so, yeah, so,
December 23rd?
No, December 23rd from January 4th
January 4th.
through the 18th.
Okay.
I'm sorry, yes. Just want to make sure people don't get confused.
Mr. Guido, so just let the public know that, so we would have been returning to school on the 4th, correct?
We would typically, however, our plan is to close from the 4th to the 18th and return on the 19th.
Correct.
Remotely, not closing completely, it will be remote learning
18th.
through the 18th.
Going from the 23rd.
Yes, yeah, through the 18th.
Okay,
So the motion would be to go remotely from the 4th of January to the 18th of January, returning to hybrid on the 19th.
okay, that was first and second, roll call, please.
Vice President Lange,
Yes.
Ms. Carlstrom,
Yes.
Ms. Falcon,
Yes.
Mr. Fernandez,
Yes.
Mr. Harms, Mr. Hemingway,
Yes.
Ms. McLeod Cato,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
and President Signorello.
Yes. Thank you. Now we'll go to the second participation, public participation. As each member of the public may speak for 3 minutes and adhere to the following: a full name and written on their profile, raise their hand icon on Zoom, wait to be called by the board secretary. Once called, please put video on and unmute your audio. Have anybody, Mrs. Callis?
Not yet.
Okay. 28 seconds, they're on the clock.
Yes.
Anybody, Mrs. Callis?
No hands.
Okay. The motion for adjournment?
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
What's the next meeting? December 8th? Okay. Everybody have a nice Thanksgiving. See you on the 8th.
Yes, wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.